It was past midnight, and the city outside Jake's apartment was unnervingly quiet. He sat alone in his dimly lit living room, eyes glued to his laptop. The only sound was the soft tapping of the keys and the occasional hum from the fridge. Out of nowhere, the lights flickered twice before everything went black. Jake cursed under his breath. Power outages weren't unusual in his old building, but something about the sudden darkness unsettled him this time. His phone's screen became his only source of light as he switched on the flashlight and stood up. He planned to check the fuse box, but as he passed through the hallway, something made him stop dead in his tracks. There, in the far corner of the living room, was a shadow. At first glance, it looked like nothing out of the ordinary, just a patch of darkness. But then, it shifted. Jake's breath caught in his throat. He tried to rationalize it. "It's just my mind playing tricks," he whispered to himself. But deep down, he felt it. Something was wrong. The air was colder, heavier. He took a step back, but his feet seemed glued to the floor. The shadow moved again, slithering, almost like it was crawling toward him. A soft whisper broke the silence. At first, it was so faint, Jake thought he imagined it. But the whisper grew louder, words he couldn't quite make out, but it was undeniably real. He shone the flashlight at the corner, but it did nothing. The shadow remained, now taking shape. Something humanoid, yet not quite. Jake's mind screamed at him to run, but his body refused to listen. His hands shook as the shadow began to rise, growing taller, more defined. He tried to speak, but the words caught in his throat. Before this gets any worse, take a second. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Trust me, you're going to want to stay connected for what's about to happen next. The whispers turned into harsh breaths. The shadow was no longer just a formless figure. It had eyes now, pale, empty eyes staring right into him. Jake's phone flickered and died, plunging him into complete darkness. And then he heard footsteps. Slow, deliberate. They were coming from right behind him. In the pitch-black silence, Jake's heart thundered in his chest. He turned around, but there was nothing. Nothing but the whisper of the shadow. And it was right beside him.